Hello everybody, Terry Carl Joyadian here discussing laws 7, 8, and 9 of Game Changers. Partly because they just go really well together and partly because chapter 7 is pretty much about drugs. I'm not going to get too much into that, and Asprey also says that it's a route, but he found something even better with breathing. So we'll go a little bit more into breathing. Law 7 is smart drugs are here to stay. Law 8 is get out of your head. And Law 9, the shortest one, is the breath is the world's most powerful drug. So a lot going on here. As I said, chapter 7 is about smart drugs. And I looked up how to say this and I forgot now. I think it's nootropics. Those are drugs that perform or that improve your mental performance. If you decide to try any of them that he mentions in the book, make sure you get help from an expert and that it's legal. Law 8. Going a little bit more into drugs, but he also specifically talks a little bit about stress, which is our state of fight or flight, and causes the hormones cortisol and adrenaline to be released, which prevent your blissful state. In Law 8, Dave Asprey talks about how we actually have the ability to create the effects of the same effects the drugs create, the blissful state. But because we have filled our lives with so much stress, making our body think it's constantly in fight or flight, we've prevented our ability to naturally go into this state. He says 90% of our brains, 90% of us have brains that are broken from stress. It's pretty significant. And this was a pretty powerful sentence. He said, "This is why we cannot hold or entertain the idea that we can make our dreams reality." I'm all about dreams, if you know me. So let me read that again. This is why, and by this I mean how 99% of us have brains that are broken from stress. This is why we cannot hold or entertain the idea that we can manifest our dreams into reality. So let's get unstressed. How do we do that? And in Law 8, Dave Asprey does talk briefly about ayahuasca. Talks about healing the gut, consuming omega-3 fatty acids, which are the brain building blocks, and how to get there. He says it doesn't have to be with drugs or ayahuasca. Silent meditation retreats can help you reach that state. Vision quests can help you reach that state, as well as the altered state from breathing exercises, which brings us to Law 9, so conveniently. Asprey says that Dr. Stanislav Grof was the doctor, I believe he was a psychiatrist, that really advocated for LSD. But then it became illegal in the United States. This was back in the 60s. And he was devastated, but he found something even better, which is breath, accelerated breathing, which brings you into that same psychedelic state. The breathing is called holotropic breathing, and the practice that Stanislav Grof does is accelerated breathing with evocative music in a peaceful setting. And when this is performed, our inner healing intelligence is activated and runs the show. Pretty powerful. But there are other things besides breathing that can help us reach that state can help us relieve patterns. We can use rapid eye movement therapy. We can use tapping. I don't know if you've seen that practice. This is good for relieving pattern. That feels really good right now, actually. Wow. There was woo! There was a routine. Wow. I gotta look into tapping again. I'm feeling great right now. There was a routine that you would run through, including like I think under your armpits, parts of your hand, and there were different affirmations you would say. Tapping's pretty powerful. And finally, Ujjayi breath, pranayama, can bring you into that state. And that is audible breath, internal sound. Asprey actually doesn't explain the Ujjayi breath, and I couldn't find it on his website either, but he did give a link. So I looked up Ujjayi in search either on YouTube or Google, and my favorite yoga instructor on YouTube came up, Yoga with Adrienne, who did the Ujjayi breath, and I loved how she explained it, made it simple. So I'm going to share that with you briefly before we wrap up today. She just talks about breathing in and out. It's in through your nose, out through your nose, but to warm up to it, you can go in a couple steps. She says you can start by just breathing in and out normally. You may notice that I'm not used to doing breathing exercises, even though I've had many different sources recommend that I do, so this could be a nice easy way for me to start. So yeah, I may be looking kind of weird with how I breathe, but breathe in and out naturally. And now concentrate on taking a big breath in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth, making that fog up a window feeling in your mouth. There should be a sound with it too, so that's something like this. One more time. And now what she suggests, which I think you'll appreciate, is creating the Darth Vader breath sound. So she said, you are breathing in and out, making that sound so your mouth is actually closed for the breathe out. And she said you can even work yourself up to that, where you can start, if you're new, breathing with that. See if I did that there. So I'm going to do that first. I'll start with open and then slowly closing it, and then I'll do a couple. It's just the nose. You can do it with me if you like. So we're going to breathe in now. Now straight nose. One more time. I don't know about you, but I feel more refreshed and relaxed already, and felt that little tingle in my head I feel sometimes when I'm opening up. So I believe there are other forms of breath. I've just barely scratched the surface, but I realized I really could just start by focusing on that simple one so that I can build some consistently, and I hope you will join me. If you do decide to take up this breathing practice, please share in the comments below. Let me know how it's affected your life. It's supposed to be super good for your overall health. And I just actually watched a TED Talk on it that explained a little bit about how awesome breathing is for your physiology. So that's Law's 7, 8, and 9 about reaching an altered state to improve your well-being. And if you've missed the previous videos or need a refresher, please check out the rest of them in this playlist where I talk about laws 1 through 5. And we will see you again next time for Law 10. Remember to subscribe. Take care now. Much love and many blessings.